Hello everyone, how's it going? How is COVID-19 treating you so far? Anyways, I hope you're doing okay. My name is Teacher Keana, and I will be explaining to you what telehealth or teletherapy entails and how this can benefit you and your child. Okay, so let's begin!
Ano ba itong teletherapy? Bakit biglang may ganitong offer sa mga center namin? First, madami kayong maririnig na other names pertaining to teletherapy, including telehealth, telerehabilitation, telepractice, telecare, and teleoccupational therapy. However, according to the American Occupational Therapy Association, telehealth is the application of evaluative, consultative, preventive, and therapeutic services given through ICT. And another difference between the in-person service delivery is the pagkakaiba ng location ng kid or client versus the therapist. Now, telehealth can be either a synchronous or a mixture of both. In a synchronous, the service is not provided in real time. Videos, photographs, and other electronic means can be stored by the therapist and be sent to you to be viewed at a different time. Synchronous naman pertains to when you and your provider are sabay in conducting the session. Example is when nagvi-video call kayo. Pero pwede din yung audio call, especially kung insufficient ang internet connection or kung nagka-problem during the video call or if one of you lost internet connection. Next, we have the models where we could utilize telehealth. Firstly, intensive, such as providing constraint-induced movement therapy to stroke clients, for example. Second is frequently, which is providing care every week or after 2 weeks. We could also give services monthly or on a consultation basis, which depends kung kailan niya gusto. Lastly, group, which is not plausible via telehealth. Okay, let's move on to the benefits of telehealth. There would be decreased or prevention of unnecessary delays in receiving services. A number of clients even perform better without having to directly receive services. Moreover, interventions can be provided without concern of passing LSS between the clinician and the client. Now let's discuss the constraints. It would be difficult to perform some manual therapies or therapeutic touch. This includes laying the therapist's hands on the client, though positioning with caregivers can be done at home. Self-care activities such as bathing, toileting, even some dressing activities cannot be performed lalo na pag naka-video conference. Availability of materials, space at home, knowing whether the parents or caregivers are willing to buy materials needed to commence different activities. Moving on to how can you know if your child is fit to receive telehealth? Una, dahil iba-iba yung mga skills, performance, at environment ng clients, not everyone is suitable for telehealth. Since candidacy is determined by your therapist. Here are the basic requirements that you would need. A computer, laptop, iPad, or a tablet with a speaker and microphone. A webcam, internet connection that is fast enough to avoid lagging so a child can imitate what the therapist is doing. Plus a quiet and private room. This is the application or software that we will be using. Pwede niyong i-click yung link under the Zoom image in the PowerPoint slides para ma-download niyo ito sa computer, laptop, or sa Apple and Android gadgets ninyo. Okay, so now, how does the process of teletherapy look like? We start with evaluation, since we're gonna do more evals because of the change in setting, even though we did the initial evaluation already. We'll also observe kung ano ang ginagawa ng parents or caregivers at aalamin natin kung ano ang mga barriers sa bahay. Then, we consult or give advices to the caregivers. Then we proceed to intervention, which process depends on the capabilities of your child. Next is we monitor, for example, the progress. And then your therapist will supervise. As we all know, direct intervention happens during our regular non-pandemic days, where a therapist provides intervention that is face-to-face with the client. Coaching happens when the caregivers perform the intervention. Meanwhile, consultation happens when the therapist discusses strategies and provides advices to the parents. For now, we can only provide coaching and consultation due to social distancing. According to Occupational Therapy Australia, my 3 ways to conduct an OT session. 1 is through coaching. We coach because people don't learn by watching or listening. We learn by doing. Providing live, positive feedback to the caregivers creates more behavior changes, which means more success for our young clients. Here's an example of coaching.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. And today we had talked about, she's anxious to go. Look at her. All right, you're going to give her an opportunity to grab the Q-tip out of the box herself. See if she can. You see that segmented container there?
We know that it's time to start introducing more technology into early intervention in the field of child development for infants and toddlers. Virtual intervention is a great way to coach families, to embrace the coaching model, to have families interact with practitioners, and really take ownership for the developmental progress of their child.
Virtual intervention is an emerging service delivery model. Basically what it involves is using computers at 2 different locations. Computers have the webcams attached, and we go over a secure internet connection. So she's going to hold it steady and manipulate with the other hand. We're providing services from a distance. So it can be distance, OT, PT, speech, developmental sessions. And really we're working with the therapist on one side and then the parent and the child on the other, at the other location.
Good, McCann. More water. More.
Right, so while you're working on her fine motor skills, of course you're going to be reinforcing everything. All of her language. In one of my OT journals, I came across an article about virtual early intervention services, and that's really how we got the idea at Sunny Days. And we decided to take it to a whole nother level and try to do home-to-home early intervention services. So that's really what we're doing. We're offering a way for the therapists to be at their home and for the families to be at their home.
Another way to implement a telehealth session is through one-on-one therapy with the child. Pero this depends on a lot of factors. For instance, kaya ba ni kid mag-attend on-screen with a therapist? Kaya ba niya mag-imitate? Kaya ba niya sumunod ng instructions? And etc. as it will be up to your service provider's clinical judgment kung fit ba si kid sa ganitong way. Here, watch these examples.
We have a choice now. Do you want to do your book first, or do you want to do tennis ball guy first?
A tennis ball.
Tennis ball guy. Oh, he's fun. Good. And put your hands on the red circles. We're going to squeeze. It's a little bit tricky. Tennis ball guy likes pennies. Can you feed him some pennies? Nom, 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 nom. Okay, so I'm going to do the picture, Mia, and can you copycat?
Yeah.
Okay, here's the first picture. I'm gonna draw a tree. Can you do a tree? You do a tree.
There.
Telehealth is a wonderful way to provide occupational, physical, and speech therapy to our clients by using the webcam and microphone on a computer, tablet, or a smartphone. While the child is at home, the therapist can work with the parent and the child to provide meaningful therapy in the child's own environment. The reason we provide therapy is to help each child reach his or her potential. A common belief is that therapy has to be done in person in the clinic, but there are many cases where therapy at home using our telehealth services can be more beneficial to the family.
My name is Helena. My son Michael received services at PTN. Before our telehealth, it was a little frustrating if Michael got sick. I always felt some sort of guilt. Oh, he's going to miss a session. Trying to squeeze in a makeup session wasn't always the easiest thing to find the time for. And I know his therapist mentioned, well, we have this thing called telehealth where you can be in the comfort of your own home and it's just like a video conference. So I thought, well, let's give it a try. And he was really excited about it. He was excited because it's like his therapist got to see where he lived. He was showing her his toys. He was very comfortable. I think the first time we did it, he was even in his pajamas. He thought it was a lot of fun. Our therapist was telling us, hey, why don't you try using this or why don't you try using that? And it was just things I already had on hand at home. I didn't have to go out and get anything or any equipment. I'm so grateful for PTN for everything that they've shown my son, but also shown me. I feel that I'm a better parent because of the things that I have learned through the therapists at PTN.
And the last way is by consulting the parent and reviewing the child's progress.
So tell me if there was anything related to his dressing that you were hoping to work on together.
Yes, it's great. He's really independent in terms of all of his clothing and even his belt, but his shoe tying with traditional laces has been a challenge for us.
Okay, so tell me what's happening right now when he tries to tie his shoes.
So he has trouble kind of knowing, which goes on top, which goes on bottom, how to spin them together, and so we've pretty much gone to bungees in his shoes and have just avoided laces altogether.
Yeah, what a great idea. So he's able to do the bungees independently, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Is tying his shoes something that you're wanting him to learn how to do?
Yes, for sure.
Awesome. So it sounds like you worked on this a little bit before you switched to bungees. What did you try and how did it go?
We did. One of his teachers at school, his PE teacher, actually helped work on it too. And so we used the process that she showed him where you make two bunny ears and flip them together. And we also tried a system of inserting kind of the firm end of the legs into the extra holes that are at the top and twisting through that. We could make the two loops, but beyond that, things got.
Got it. Okay. Would it be okay if I watched what happens if you give him a shoe just on the table in front of him and ask him to tie the laces so I can understand a little bit better what's happening right now?
Sure.
Alrighty, I hope those gave you an overview on what to expect in your future sessions. And if you'd like to watch more about these, click the PowerPoint link attached in the description below and look for slide numbers 36 and 37. Okay, so telehealth has also been studied for years, and here are the evidences supporting it. The alignment of telehealth with the triple aim of healthcare will be an integral component of evolving practice. It was found that telehealth revealed a constantly high patient satisfaction, where some even preferred video conference over face-to-face. It also improves access, facilitates care coordination, and chronic disease management. It analyzes client factors, performance skills and patterns, environments, activity demands that affect health and engagement in occupations. There is also improved access to care in the home versus in a more costly institutional environment. Researchers in OT using telehealth showed similar outcomes when compared with in-person services. And because OT is geared to work at the right care, in the right time, at the right place, telehealth may lead to improved efficiencies. So, telehealth has been being studied for years, and here are some articles which you can click and view in the PowerPoint slides link in the description below. Or copy and paste this link on your web browser after this presentation is over. Okay, here's a news video whereby telehealth OT has made a big difference in one family.
Health professionals have faced a lot of challenges to continue serving patients, but they're not giving up on their efforts. Mayo Clinic Health System is now providing telehealth occupational therapy. It's to make sure patients can continue to practice and improve on their skills while staying at home, and it helps maintain daily routines while connecting with their therapists. One local mom says she hopes it becomes a standard service.
It's probably the next best thing to being in person, and hopefully this can even translate into the future if we are sick or have some other sort of travel issues. I think going online is really going to be helpful for us.
Mayo staff say there are some barriers. One is not having all the same tools that they're used to, but with a little creativity, therapists and families are making it work.
Okay, pag-usapan naman natin now yung question and answer post between two telehealth OTs. Telehealth was given to school-aged children from kinder to grade 12 and in outpatient pediatric hospitals. For Melanie, telehealth began in 2009 and currently more than 800 services have been provided. For Kim, they started in 2018, but now they provide up to 300 telehealth sessions per month. And these were addressed in those sessions: sensory processing, emotional regulation, fine motor, visual perception, executive functioning, independent living skills, sensory and/or reflex integration, and feeding. In their telehealth sessions, they have observed these benefits: increased educational opportunities and attention, decreased need for travel, decreased health risk for students with compromised immune systems, and behavioral challenges when using a technological platform for intervention. They were also able to serve those who do not have access, and these were helpful in carrying over for the parents. In contrast, these were the challenges that they have encountered. They did not have adequate internet speed to support video conferencing. They had difficulty understanding the technology tools, lighting, and access to materials were an issue too. Now let's compare your usual face-to-face delivered services versus telehealth and the aspects of research. Okay, let's start with the evidence-based side of telehealth, whereby different researchers showed the following. 1. Interventions supported participations in different ADLs. 2. OT evaluations were conducted using different assessment tools, and specific assessments for home, wheelchair, and mobility were done. On the other hand, studies showed comparable outcomes between the face-to-face and telehealth sessions. 1. Pediatric diagnostic evaluations were conducted by different professionals. 2. Both models were able to provide adaptive equipment and environmental modifications. 3. Systematic reviews were conducted in both instances. Okay, let's now run through the different services given in telehealth, starting with teleevaluation. First things up, intervention can be performed without the need to be seen in person by the practitioner. But your therapist may tell you that a face-to-face evaluation is more suitable for the child, or a hybrid evaluation which consists of both telehealth and in-person may be needed. Moving on, here are the researches supporting telehealth consultation. A research by Wakeford supports telehealth in improving play in children with special needs. Next up, we have telehealth intervention. Providing interventions through telehealth have also been studied by the researchers on the right side of your screen. Moving on to telemonitoring. We use technologies to monitor clients' adherence to therapies, monitor and facilitate progressive therapies, and monitor and support clients at home. Now that we've covered everything you need to know about telehealth, I'll be sharing some things which may help your child understand the situation. Starting with this concern after the pandemic is over. Children with autism may have a high chance of not wanting to leave their homes after this is over. They became so set in a routine at home that it became difficult for it to be broken. And in order to keep this from happening, we have to keep them physically and socially active, such as providing gross motor activities and letting them take a walk outside to receive some sunlight. Moreover, we're also here to help you cope during these difficult times. We're offering a home program. You could think of this as an asynchronous session where instructions, pictures, and videos of activities will be sent to you for you to implement at home on a daily or weekly basis. Another is teletherapy, using live video conferencing via Zoom, where your therapist may evaluate and provide intervention through one-on-one therapy, consultation, and parent coaching depending on the skills and needs of your child. Kaya feel free to click the link in the PowerPoint link below. Message us din kapag may mga questions and clarifications kayo. And I do hope we get in touch despite the distance. Furthermore, here are some videos na pwede niyong ipanood sa mga kids ninyo para maintindihan naman nila kung bakit sila stuck at home.
Time to come in, Bear. Time to come in, Bear. The world caught a cold. You won't get its germs if you just stay at home. It isn't forever, Bear, just for a time. There's still fun to have, here with me, while inside. We'll climb pillow mountains, build towers sky high. I'll show you a dance. You can teach me to fly. We'll paint with our paws, Bear, tell stories, read books. We'll eat lots of pizza. Can you help me cook? Do you know a joke, Bear? The world is still funny. Knock, knock. Who's there, Bear? It's me, and a bunny. No visits with Grandpop. Grand's dinner can wait. A phone call's a great call to keep them both safe. No playdates with friends, Bear. You miss them, I know. The next time we see them, we'll make sure it shows. While we stay inside, Bear, the heroes still fight to clean up the germs and make the world all right. So sleep tight tonight, Bear. Tomorrow, we'll see. And no matter what happens, together we'll be.
Here's another video which older kids could appreciate.
Nothing like an early morning jog. Phew. What? Oh, stop it. Dear Tim and Moby, I've been hearing lots of scary stuff in the news about the coronavirus. Can you tell me more about it, please? Thanks, Khalil. Sure thing, Khalil. Viruses are tiny particles that can invade living cells. There are millions of varieties with different behaviors, shapes, and structures. Coronaviruses are one group, named for their crown-shaped outline. 4 of these commonly infect humans. A lot of times when you get a cold, it's caused by a coronavirus. Any virus has one goal: to replicate or make more copies of itself. But it can't do that on its own, so it invades an organism and turns its cells into virus factories. This can be unpleasant for the host, the organism that the virus has infected. The new coronavirus typically causes coughing and fever. A healthy body can usually fight off this illness, known as COVID-19, on its own. Symptoms are mild for most people, especially kids. But in a body with weakened defenses, COVID-19 can become more severe and require medical treatment. Some people get seriously ill, and that's gotten everyone's attention. This new coronavirus was first identified in Wuhan, China. In late 2019, there was an outbreak. That's when a disease starts spreading. More and more people got sick, first in China and then around the world. Entire cities have been quarantined or closed off to slow the disease's spread. Fortunately, viruses can't get around without our help. And there's a lot we can do to not help them. Like washing your hands, especially after you use the bathroom and before you eat. That's always a good idea, and you probably already do it. Scrub with soap for at least 20 seconds to make sure you don't miss any spots. Whenever you cough or sneeze, cover your nose and mouth to help keep any germs contained. And if you're sick, avoid other people. You wouldn't want to infect them, even if it's a plain old cold. Well, when there's an outbreak where you live, experts recommend some added precautions. Like social distancing, limiting close contact with other people, even if you're not sick. Hang out at home with your family, and keep up with your friends online. That gives the virus fewer opportunities to spread around. Lots of outbreaks have been stopped when enough folks just follow these simple rules. Yeah, it's true. Some people have died after being infected by the 2019 coronavirus. That's because the virus can infect a person's lungs and make it hard to breathe. Those are the stories we hear about most online and in the news. But the vast majority of cases have been mild. If you feel overwhelmed by the news, consider limiting how much you let in. Instead of cable news and social media, stick to sources like the World Health Organization. They'll give you the big picture, not just the scary snapshots that make the headlines. And they're organizing experts all over the world to get this coronavirus under control. Still, it's totally normal if the situation's made you a little anxious. Talk to a trusted adult. They can help you put your feelings in perspective. One last thing. Coronavirus doesn't care where you're from or what your background is. So don't let anyone turn this into an excuse to target someone based on how they look. Working together is how we'll beat this thing, so let's stand up for our neighbors. Okay, I'm a sweaty mess. I gotta rinse off. Oh, don't be so dramatic. Where are you going? I really think you're overreacting.
We could also teach proper hand washing through these songs. You and your child may watch these by visiting my PowerPoint slides link once again in the link below. Now before I end this, here are some things that could probably help you, parents and caregivers, cope with this situation. I have here a relaxation technique that can benefit you during these times. So I'll be playing just a little part of this.
Autogenic Training Beginners Exercise 1. Relaxation, breathing, and the heaviness exercise for arms and legs. Try to close your eyes. We apperceive our entire body. The feet. The lower and the upper legs. The pelvis. The lower and upper back. The arms. The shoulders.
Okay, I do hope that made you feel better. Pwede nyo balikan ito mamaya sa PowerPoint link below. Here's another discussion that can help you cope with stress and anxiety. You can then again visit the video in the link below. Then you can click and visit these helpful links.
Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions and clarifications, feel free to contact us through this. Bye.